And now he has granddaughters, and there's, it continues. Okay, so what has happened since I saw her last is that she is using her tongue actually more as her lower lip than she was before. And it's because we haven't really been able to give her the right consistency of milk. We wanted to thicken it up, and we couldn't get her onto the straws really because of the need for the thickening. But what has happened is that she's gotten better, a little bit better in that retraction. So this is not straw 1, this is straw 2. Okay. Now, a lot of times children with this diagnosis don't have something called modulation. So I would know, and you would know, it would take more effort to pick this table up than these bubbles. She doesn't know that. So when she drinks from a straw, she uses the exact same amount of effort that she would from a bottle. So you got her off the bottle, basically you got her onto a straw using that same amount of effort. And bottle drinking requires much more strength in the bowl than does a straw. So as a result, if you put her on straw 2, she gets the same amount of work, but she gets less liquid, and she actually did better.
Yeah, she didn't lose hardly any liquid.
Hardly at all.
Yeah.
So I want her back on the thin liquid.
Okay.
And you know, you're kind of on what are those things called, a balance beam here, because Lori's giving you information, and I'm giving you information. And you need to decide which one of us feels more comfortable to you, okay? Because our approaches are slightly different. That doesn't mean that one is right or one is wrong. Lori's focus most of the time is feeding, and my focus is feeding, but I want to go towards speech. So with the spoon feeding, I have no trouble going from the side at all. That's fine. That's a feeding issue. With the solids, I'd like you to go upside down. I'd like you to go 2 times to the right for every 1 time to the left. Which means you start with that, the piece of whatever it is there. You want to put it on the which side are you going on there?
I was going to go on her right.
Okay, if you're going on her right, then it has to be on the other time.
Okay.
Okay, so the little one there. Just because it's put it further back. Oh, no, you were right. You were actually right. I'm sorry. That was not right. No, you were right. All right, so then you do it that way. You want her working twice as hard on that side. So I'm looking at her jaw for feeding and for speech. Okay. Then, so we'll do that, and that will be the whole meal. For as long as she lets you feed her. And then if she has to be independent, and then let her do that. Think of that as nutrition. Okay. Until.
More?
Okay.
More?
Liquids. This is going to be the hardest one for you. And let me show you, what she's doing. So here's your lower lip. And what she's doing is when I put the straw in, she wants to stick her tongue out under that straw to get the tongue on the straw. Okay, you need to constantly go back to this. So basically, may I do it on you? All right, let me clean this out so you don't get a mouthful of milk.
Who likes hot dog?
So I didn't start correctly. She's made a lot of changes and a lot of progress. Okay, so you're doing well. I'm just wanting to pull her up. Okay. So let me show you what she's doing. All right. She's doing, stick your tongue out. She's doing this. No matter what you do, she's doing this. Okay? Can you see that? All right. What I want you to do is the same way you held her mouth, I want you to come in like this and give her that rounding. And the minute that her tongue comes out, you leave. Okay. So you're going to do what is called single sips. You're going to come in from the side and squeeze and let her have a mouthful. And she's going to get really frustrated. Okay? And from the side, okay? And I want you coming in from the left, only because that's her stronger side. Can you feel how I do that? Okay. Then I want you to try to do that as many times as you can. That's going to cause your single sip. And then the problem is that if you give her that straw by herself, she'll go back to the old habit. So ideally, we should have another straw, number 2, that she can drink on any way she wants. And they actually do look a little different. So you don't have a straw kit yet? Okay. When you get the straw kit,
Hey, what are you doing?
I might actually have it here, excuse me.
Hey, do you want more or are you all finished? More or all finished? What's
Are
going
you
on back
looking
there?
to see what she's doing?
What's going on back there?
I'm sorry you got frustrated. You want more?
If Phil can find them for you, would you like to get them today or do you want to order them?
Today is good if you can.
Okay, let me see if I can get a hold of him
Okay.
because I think that might help you. And then what I will do
Hey.
is give you
Bum, bum, bum.
two different ones.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll be different shapes, but I'll call him and get him to bring those up. So then the second one will still have a lip lock just like this. It'll be a slightly different shape, it'll be a different color, and that's what you give her for independent drinking.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to have 2 cups, and they don't have to look like this, but they do have to cup with a lid.
Okay.
And I'd like to see her off the Honey Bear,
Okay.
because I think she can get everything she needs from this
Okay.
without too much of
So
an
at
effort.
school, like we have to send her cups to school, we should get these.
You should.
Okay.
Some kind of a cup with a straw like this.
Like those
Now,
take and toss cups.
any kind.
Okay.
And what you're gonna do is you're not gonna send this one to school. This is her therapy straw.
Okay.
You're gonna get a rubber band and put it under this
Okay.
so that it can't move down.
Okay.
And the other one, I'll show you how to use when, just let her, you had your hands under here, which was right, so it can't go down, but that will be her independence. So I don't want her to be angry at us. So I'm gonna put here, single sips, 5. No, I'm not even gonna do 5, because I want her to like us. I'm gonna say 2, and then other number 2 straw. So every time you give her something to drink, you have 2 cups all the time with the same liquid in it,
Okay.
looking exactly the same. This will look the same. So this one will go 1, 2, put it back in here, give her the other cup to let her finish her drink.
Okay.
And every time you give her a drink, you do that. So if you give her a drink 5 times during a meal, you're gonna do that because your goal is to get her to use that lower lip again, which she's not using. And she was before. So it's not that she can't, it's that her habit has taken over. So let's do that. I think that'll be a nice way to phase her onto the other, and then we can get rid of the Honey Bear.
And then during the day at school, we send the other number 2 with a cup like this.
Right, with a rubber band underneath
With a
it,
rubber band
and she
underneath
can
it.
drink any way she wants. So it'll
Okay.
still work. See, before, she had maybe this much of her tongue out. Now she's not gonna be able to do that. So actually, we're still working on retraction, not perfect, I'm on her lip. So you're working on her lip, they're working on her tongue.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay. With the Z Vibe, then, with that tip, and we had the green tip, you want to start on the left. You're going to do always 2 times right, 1 time left. So you're going to do 10, 10, wrong side, sorry, right, 10, 10, 10. Then you take your red chewy tube, and you're going to do, still vibrating, 1, 1, 1.
And you just hold that on it and it makes
You
it.
want to feel it?
Sure.
Okay, so feel it with your hand. So it vibrates. It
Okay.
gives a little bit more input, and what she was able to do is get a nicer bite on it.
Okay.
When you see her be able to totally compress this, then you're going to go to 2.
Okay.
So right now, she's doing this.
Okay.
We need to see her do this. Try it for me so you can feel it in your own mouth, and you'll see how easy it is. It's not really hard. Okay? So that really, when I work with kids in my center, we will use that red to tell us if they have strength enough to eat foods.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what you're looking at. So with this, when you get to vibration,
Are you still hungry? You want more?
not complete. So when you get to 1 complete on each side, then you're going to go to 2, 3, and you're going to go all the way down to 10, which is your goal.
10 of the red compressions.
Mhm.
Okay.
10. Now, when you get to 2 red compressions, all right, so now you have 1, 2 compressions, you're going to continue with the red, and you're going to add the yellow.
Okay.
So it will look like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Remember, you're going to go back to that side, and then you get the yellow, and you're going to go 1, 1, 1.
Okay.
The same thing is going to happen as
You
you
want more?
continue,
Still with the vibration.
still with the vibration. and depending on when we see you next, that's how this program works. So then when you get to 2 on the yellow, you add the purple, and you go whatever you're doing, and you continue with the red and the yellow. So now in the beginning, you're doing this tool and this tool. Eventually, you're going to do 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So you need a bite tube set. Do you have that?
No, I just have the red and the yellow.
Okay. So we need a bite tube set. We need do you have the horn kit?
No.
Okay, and you need the straw kit.
But we do have one of these.
We have just one horn.
Good. Now you have another. Okay, so that's good. And you're going to do the horn with the singing. Let's just make sure I have that. And then NB or P. And let's see if we can get her to the other one. I still try to get her to blow because that's the other part. So what we're doing now is getting her lips to understand your lips have something to do with mommy talking or daddy singing, whichever one. And then we're going to get that airflow to come in and really make a difference with that. With the slow feed, and I'm going to change my mind about that, with the veggie stick, which he still likes, just do that on the right side only. So it'll be as many as you can get with that.
Okay.
I did it with the Cheerio. I liked what she did on the left side. She wasn't so good on the right side.
Okay.
So the Cheerio was actually too hard for her to fully chew for this exercise.
Okay.
That's why we want to use that crunchy
Veggie
veggie
stick,
stick, which I think will be a whole lot better. Okay, so we're not going to use that. All right, that's step 1. Okay. Then, actually, that's step 2. So step 1 is veggie, right only. Okay. Then I want you to go back to Lori's feeding hierarchy. I don't know, did she talk to you about this one, where you bite and bite? Okay, that's what you do with the veggie stick.
Okay.
She can't do it yet with the food.
Okay.
It's too hard for her. So after you do the veggie stick on the right, and let's see how many I want you to do, just 1 stick. Then you go to number 2, which will be with the stick on those teeth, bite, bite, and that's going to pull her tongue back.
Do you do front back or back front? I can't remember.
Front back.
Front back.
Because your goal, think about what you want your tongue to do. You want your tongue to pull the food back.
Okay.
So you're going to go bite and then bite.
Okay.
She didn't have the skill to do this last time. She just didn't have the strength in her jaw. We had to build it up a little bit. So bite, bite. And I'll give you a picture. The picture will show you exactly which tooth. But basically it's, I don't have anything. Do you mind if I do this with you? And you'll feel your tongue. So it's like this, bite, open, bite. You feel how your tongue went back? Okay. Now sometimes the tongue will follow it. Sometimes the tongue will move away from it. Do you want something to drink? Okay.
Are you all finished, or you want more?
If her
More
tongue
or all
does
finished?
nothing, then it's not as effective as we would hope it would be. But continue.
Okay.
I hope her tongue follows it, not all of the time. You know, even in the adult population of people that I teach, when we talk about brushing your teeth, sometimes people will say, oh yeah, my tongue goes over there, like I go to the dentist and they are always telling me to move it. Other people go, no, that doesn't happen. And their tongue actually moves away. So we'll see what happens with her.
Okay.
Right, so I kind of jumped ahead. I want to go back to the sensory program. I'm going to change it a little bit. I still like the tooth that. I agree with you. I think that one is really beneficial.
Okay.
At the end of that one, I want to go onto the lips. Remember where I held it and I went ooh? So that's going to be that ooh sound.
Okay.
When you do the tongue part, in the past we've been pulling forward. Now we want to push back also.
Okay.
Because Lori has added that, and that's exactly what she needs. She needs that backward movement, which is pretty much what you're getting here with the feeding as well. The other thing that I'm going to add are some of Lori's cheek exercises, which are really terrific. What do I do with that?
This one?
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to give you this tip.
Okay.
And I'd like you to, if you don't mind, feel, I won't use the vibration if you don't want me to.
You can.
Okay, you don't mind? It's pretty
That's
intense.
fine.
Okay. All right.
If she
So,
can do it, I can do it.
now remember, she has hyposensitivity. You do not. So if you feel like you're going to gag, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay? So you start here. 1, 2,